Yo, what's going on, homies? It's your boy Stun back for another OPTC video, and in today's video, we're diving into the treasure map versus Sakazuki. Well, for the 5+ Sakazuki against Greenbull and Fuji, and in today's video, we are utilizing the full boosted run with the teams that I've actually used for the mini bosses, and they have changed a little bit since my preparation video and some of my other videos, but look, I've done my traditional 4 billion videos for an event with boosted characters. Whenever I get the full batch, I will be looking at doing stuff like this, but look, moving forward, I don't really plan on summoning on treasure map banners, so it'll basically just be when like these bigger celebrations come around. So look, I'm going to try and stick to my word. I know that I get a lot of yeah, sure, Stump, but I am going to really try my best to stick to that. But whenever I do get the batch, like, I'm going to do those videos like you guys saw. If you guys want to see more content on the treasure map batch and stuff like that, or the no new batch, or the New Year's batch videos with some voiceover, let me know in the comment section below. If there's enough love there, once we hit like lab level 50 or something like that, we'll dive back in, just showcasing the teams and how they can operate against some more HP and some stronger teams. So starting off with the Intrusion, we're basically just using the team they want us to use. It's pretty straightforward. We have two 1.4 times boosters. We have the 3 new treasure map rare recruits and the legend, so pretty straightforward. Let's dive on in. Now, the whole goal here is to have Sabo in the middle slot, have Luffy in the middle slot, and then use the Sabo EX and the Morley Karasu super type, so that way you can get Luffy into the Gear 5 form, provided you need the paralysis on the final stage. It is only 13 turns of paralysis, so if you're actually running double Morley Karasu, you actually don't really need Luffy in his like Gear 5 form or his Snake Man form to remove the paralysis, because you can actually just use one of their specials to remove 10 turns of it. You will need some supports to get around the rest of it. Pretty simple. You just need like Rayleigh, or the Rayleigh support, and then like the ship of the Whale Shark. Like, that's going to work out pretty hunky-dory. But as you can see on turn 2 against Akainu, he captain swaps you to that middle row. He gives you a very annoying 99% attack down if you use any type orb or recovery orb, which is a huge problem. It is 5 turns, but it does drastically lower your attack. I got Sabo swapped into my captain, so I don't need to use the EX, but like for the sake of the video, I'm just going to utilize it here, so that way you guys can see that if you had Luffy as your captain, he's going to go into the Snake Man variant, I believe, which can still bypass paralysis just like the Gear 5 form can. With that, you can easily just single tap. Akainu dies, he heals, and then he runs away. You also get special reverse on your bottom row, and then the special like lock. But because Morley Karasu are immune to special reverse by 10 turns, you can just bypass that, which works out pretty nice. Funny that Koala and Morley Karasu do the same thing in that regard. I feel like if they wanted to plan it a bit better, like they could have made Morley Karasu do something like, I don't know, something fun, you know, like silence. That would have been sick. But look, it is what it is. 6 turns of damage reduction on the final stage. That's where the rare recruits come into play. You get a full bot of block orbs as well. What we're going to do here first is we're going to use the super type of Morley Karasu. That's going to give us a full bot of orbs. You can slap on the Brule support. That's another really good option to get around the block orbs here. And then you can use Sanji Pudding if you guys don't have the newer characters. So that way you are getting all of the fun stuff with the damage reduction or the defense type removal. As for the damage reduction, Bello Betty does remove that. You have more damage with Morley Karasu, you have more damage with Sabo and Luffy. Increased damage taken, type advantage effects, territories. But like, as you can see, like, it's still pretty early, and I can just sort of kill without it. But plenty of damage there. It obviously is going to lurk for a very long time. You get a lot of boosted effects, and it's a big reason why I sort of wanted to summon, because Super Boss is coming up, and I have no limit rate materials. So that's definitely something that I want to get on top of, and having the batch is going to allow me to get a lot of extra drops from the Intrusion and from the final boss fight. So we'll pick up some stamina there. We do have the reduced roll, which is going to be a little bit interesting because I already have a bunch of cards. Beautiful. As I say, we want some nav level cards. They're the cards that I'm looking for, just because I don't really want to use my slingshots right now, because I want to obviously make a video, so that makes it hard. Nav level card. Okay, another slingshot. Alright, well, we'll keep going, because like I want to get these chests, and then we can use the 2 in that later. There's a gold card there too. Oh, it's frustrating. I mean, we can use the 2 to pick up that that stamina, and then we should have some should have one more slot to hopefully pick up something nice with a gold card here and there. We'll see how we go. Let me know how you guys are going in your treasure map. Obviously, the one after New Year's it's a bit of a big one, because everyone sort of has a bunch of like really high boosters because of the 1.4 times. But at the same time, A lot of people aren't summoning on the treasure map banner, so it's a good chance to sort of rank if you guys do have the boosters. As for the next mini boss fight, we are going up against Kurouma. Yeah, Kurouma, I can't say his name. Well, using double Kuzan for this particular fight, and Sanji Pudding as a sub, because I don't need Sanji Pudding on my final team. Lots of people will probably be using Sanji Pudding on their final team, because they're a 1.35 booster, and they actually just work so well with their paralysis removal in their swap, their rainbow orb manipulation, similar slots to get around that attack down on the intrusion and stuff. It works out really nicely. But over here, I don't need them on the final boss, so I decided to use them here, which is what they kind of want you to do. Mainly because on the final stage, there's damage reduction and a threshold for 10 turns, so you can just bypass that with the special of Sanjin Pudding. Another way to get around it is using like Gear 5, like I showcased in my previous teams, where you run 2 Gear 5s and you can just tank the death hit that gets inflicted. That's a really nice way to get around it. Unfortunately, if you try and run Cat Dog, like Neko and Inu, you are going to run into the problem that the death hit you can't reduce with damage reduction effects, so just be mindful of that. Another really good option is to use the Zoro, what's his name, the Roronoa Zoro from the fight with Killer, or Kuruma, whatever they called him. He's a really good option as a captain. He's going to give himself cooldowns. You can use his special to wave clear, just like I did with Kuzan, and then bypass the special bind, and then use another character to get around the damage reduction and the defense up. Oh, sorry, the threshold. But as you can see, Sanji Pudding, they're actually immune to special bind, which means I literally just have to use their special. They give us damage reduction. They remove those effects. Kuzan gives me an attack and an orb boost, and then with color affinity, I can easily just kill with a single tap. So that's the upside to using Kuzan on that particular fight. Give me a nav level. Okay, 4. I mean, we can just like grab another card. So let's do that. All these gold cards are so good, but when they give me these like stupid movements, it makes me so sad. I always like to go for the... Okay, that's annoying. Pistol. Ideally, I'd want to use a slingshot right now. Not that it mattered anyway, because we rolled a 5. But moving on to the Kizaru fight now. I did change this fight super drastically. I was using Carrots as my captain, but I decided to sort of move away from that and use the Cat-Dog combination. With Dogstorm being boosted, running Cat Viper is always really, really nice. Cat Viper can obviously wave clear with his super type, which is great. And there's always that nice little cheeky strat that I like to use on these mini-boss fights, where if you use the Cat Viper special on turn 2, and then you wave clear with Izo Kiku, you actually extend that orb buff by 2 turns. Cat Viper gives the clock buff, so Cat Viper not only becomes an orb booster, but he becomes an attack booster for that final stage. On the final stage as well, there's 1 turn of special reverse, so you can actually save the other super type of Cat Viper to bypass that. Later down the line, when I need a little bit more damage, I can take off the waifu unit. They're literally just here for the Mihawk support. That way I get some defense down, setting to 0, as the final stage has like 12 turns of defense up, bunch of barriers, and a bunch of damage reduction as well, which is a little bit frustrating. Obviously, once it gets a little bit more finicky and the HP threshold goes up, needing to get around stuff like the territory, I can just substitute the new Luffy in. He's going to remove all of the defense up there for us, and he can just sort of bypass it there. But as you can see with this particular team right now, I don't need to do anything else besides just tap. I don't need to use a special on the final stage. I got Odin through to color affinity for Dogstorm. Hiyori can give some resistance down as well. She bypasses the hunger on this particular fight as well. I believe it's hunger for 3 stacks. So that's always really hunky-dory as well. So good stuff there. Love that for the mini-boss fights. Let's move on to the next lots. We get some more jammies. That's nice. Let's move on to the next mini-boss fights, which are... The first one is against Tashigi, and then we have Hina. Now, my Tashigi team hasn't really changed all that much. However, I did obviously bring Vegapunk over to this particular team. I was using... I honestly don't really remember who I was using as the other unit on the team, but look, Vegapunk has some type advantage. And then we're using Momo for another unit that has type advantage and giving us 1 orbs at the start of the fight, just like his sister Hiyori does. Works out really nicely because now when we use wave clearers, we can just sort of keep those 1 orbs like we did literally in the last mini boss fight as well. We're going to use Brook to wave clear turn 1, wave clear turn 2. The big upside to this team is we are running a full free spirit squad. With that being full free spirit, is we can actually use the Yamato special to remove the attack down when you're above a 2 times chain. Very annoying debuff. Because it's just going to drastically reduce all your damage. On top of that, you get all type orbs unfavorable. The 1 orbs take care of that. Ace is giving us all the cooldowns we need for all of our free spirits. And then if you want to, you can actually use the Ace special as well to remove the barrier with the Whitey base support. Or you can then override the ore buff that Yamato gives, give us a conditional buff as well, get even more damage. Then we have the EX of Yamato to give the damage reduction conversion buff. So as you can see, like I just use Yamato there and I'm like, I'm fine because it's full free spirit. But later down the line, when I'm going to need more damage, I can just like pop like one more special, and the amount of buffs I get is just absolutely crazy. On top of that, Ace is got barrier pen, so you can just like tap through the barrier and just it works out super fine. Moving on to the Hina fight now. This one I did change as well. I threw on Carrot as the captain. I moved Carrot over here so that way we can bypass some defensive effects. That's the team, those are the supports. Let's dive on in. Now I was using Lucci and Kaku for this particular fight. The way I predicted Lucci Kaku to work was the final stage was meant to have Threshold. So when I was in the dual form of Lucci, one of my Lucci Kakus, then I could then get the attack buff and the orb buff. However, because you get stunned first, that is not actually the case. It's a little bit frustrating. So what we're going to do here is we're going to use Carrot to just bypass that. Still using Lucci Kaku on the team because they can remove the attack down. However, I'm using them as a sub so I can use their super swap to just use it to be a wave clearing unit. Then we can use the recommended character of Orochi and Kanjuro in the middle slot to wave clear turn 2, give us a tap timing buff into the final stage, and bypass the reduced special limits. Remember, if a character gets stunned, they're not going to have their limit break abilities available, which is very, very annoying. So they're in that middle slot there. They can remove that. We have the Enel support on Nami Karina. The Enel support is so good for this fight because you get a HP cut to remove the stun, and then you apply end of turn damage to bypass the resilience. Carrot is going to give us an orb buff and an attack boost thanks to the what's it called support, the Dogstorm support, and then removing the attack down with what's his name, Kaku and Lucci also gives us chain boundary, so that way we can easily kill through the damage reduction effects, and it works out pretty hunky dory. So that's the way we're rocking that now. As for the rest of the team, like, you can use the Nami variant of Nami Karina for a bigger attack boost there a little bit later down the line. You can super swap with them for some base stats. There is a little bit more damage in that team, but at the same time, like, I'm just aiming for speed right now. Once things get a bit more spicy, obviously we can just add some other characters in that are just going to allow us to do more damage, like run to Dawn and bring a Kainu with what they actually want us to do. Or hell, even run like Whitebeard and Ace over there like they want us to, but we're using Whitebeard and Ace over here. Now traditionally they want us to use the Waifu 6+. I do have the Waifu 6+, but I'm not using them here purely because the Whitebeard and Ace unit is a 1.4 times booster where the Waifus are a 1.35. I don't understand what world they thought, hey, we'll release the Waifus as a paywall and then make them a lower booster and make them recommended. To me, it just makes zero sense. Like, why would you not just make them 1.4 like the rest of the New Year's characters? But this is where we are. This is what I wanted to do. So this is where we stand. On turn 2, you come up against Greenbull. He gives you an attack down below, a 2.4 chain, poison, and 8 turns of attack down. So this is where we're going to use the Morley Karasu special. That's going to get rid of the poison. They give us some nice base stat boost. We can use their super type then. So that way we get the tap timing bonus, and then we can use Whitebeard and Ace. Whitebeard and Ace, because you have that tap timing bonus, are not only an attack booster now, but they're also a chain boost. So that way you get above that 2.4 chain very, very easily, and you can just easily take out that particular stage. Once you kill, Greenbull runs away. He comes back with Fuji on the final stage, and then we can basically just use the rest of our specials to kill here. Like, we are needing to get above a 2.4 chain, and we only get 2 special limits, but obviously with the rare crits we can bypass all of that. If you switch with Whitebeard and Ace, you can get yourself a tap timing bonus, which is going to easily allow you to get above the 2.4. Something I forgot to do was add Marco as a support for this particular team, but the upside here is we have Bello Betty. Bello Betty is a chain boundary character, so that way you actually get the 2.4 chain very easily with that extra little like chain boost. Like, you're gonna do some fun stuff with Marco, but like the damage is pretty fine. Like, you start at 3.3, like you don't really need it, but later down the line, like you might want to like add that in because it's pretty much the only thing that we're missing. We have attack boosting, we have all buffing. The rare crits are pretty much doing everything that you need for that final stage. So that's going to wrap up the video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, make sure to hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, do all that good stuff for me. Most importantly, wherever you guys are in this beautiful world, please remember to enjoy the rest of your day. As always, homies, thank you all for watching, and I will catch you all in the next one. Let's